Good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say good morning, everyone? Welcome to the MeanGene Show, live streaming here on Podbean. We are a little bit early today because it's Veterans Day 2021. Normally, I would do the show a couple hours before the Thursday night game, but not today because as part of Veterans Day, I get a chance to go out and eat free meals all day. I already started this morning at Denny's, had the Grand Slam, the one that you can just pick and choose what you want. And I'm looking forward to lunch and dinner. So that's why we are doing the show a little bit earlier today. Hey, a little bit later coming on will be Mr. Picks. Now, you guys know Mr. Picks. Mr. Picks joins us from time to time. He gets in and talks about the odds, the overs, the unders, against the spreads, you name it, all of that great stuff. He'll be coming on today, joining me here on the MeanGene Show, streaming live on podbean.com. And don't forget, coming up Saturday, my show on KDWN, 720 AM, 101.5 FM, Las Vegas. You can catch that show 10 o'clock. That's Pacific time, okay? Pacific time, 10 o'clock each and every Saturday night. You can catch me, and we're going to be talking about pretty much the same thing. But today's show is probably going to be a little bit laid back, more relaxed than the radio show on Saturday. But anyway, hope you're enjoying a great week. Like I said, once again, happy Veterans Day to all of those who are serving as well as those who have served. It's just a wonderful day, a great day in the middle of the week. Some folks have this day off as a holiday. Some people don't. But nevertheless, if you're a veteran, go out there and get your free meals. Go out there and enjoy. But do this. Do not leave the restaurant without tipping the servers, the people that serve you, okay? So we've served them, and they're going to serve you, and you make sure you give them a tip. So as soon as Mr. Picks call in here, we will jump into the action and get you going in case. So you would have plenty of time to make your bets, and Mr. Picks can tell you some of the sites that have where you can make your bets at. He's the expert on that. So when he comes on here, we'll talk about that. Anyway, a lot of great games coming up here. A lot of great games that are coming on this week, and we're going to get into them. So let's go to the line. I think we have Mr. Picks on. Mr. Picks.
Hey, MeanGene, how you doing, man?
Man, the sound of your voice coming through these headphones is music to my ears, brother. Boy, it's
hey. Happy Veterans Day to you, man, and happy Veterans Day, MeanGene, to your listeners out there. Like you said, the ones that have served and the ones that are serving. Hey, man, you guys, I commend you all, man. Happy Veterans Day.
Hey, man, you caught. I was busted this morning, boy. I was out there early this morning getting that Grand Slam.
I saw that.
Hey.
I thanks for the shout out to you. A lot of people don't know that, I am also a veteran. I just served in a different branch to y'all. I was, served like 10 years in the Boy Scouts. So, I take
it. Hey, we'll take the Boy Scouts, man. They have served a purpose. They have taught us things that no one could teach us, man. Some of the things that we do to this day, we learned as Boy Scouts, doggone it.
Exactly.
Thanks to you, Mr. Picks. Good Lord. I tell you, hey, man, I was just getting everybody ready for week 10. Now, normally, we do the show a couple of hours before the Thursday night game, but because of Veterans Day, we're on a little bit early. And but this is good. This is good for the listeners out there who going to make those bets, place those bets, and that's why we got you on today. We're going to talk about this Baltimore Ravens Miami Dolphins game, and then we're going to get into all of the games on Sundays. But I will have to say that this week, this is week 10. So the following teams will not be playing, okay? The Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, New York Giants, and the Houston Texans will not be playing this week. It's week 10. They have a bye. So, Mr. Picks, let's go ahead and jump right on in. Baltimore Ravens, they last week they defeated the Minnesota Vikings 34-31 in a nail-biter, and they are going to be on the road in Miami playing the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins defeated the Houston Texans 17-9. So What are the overs and unders looking like in this game?
Well, well, right now we're looking at a 2-7 Miami team versus a 6-2 Baltimore Ravens team right now, Gene. So everybody's kind of taking that on the chin that hey, the season for Miami, along with a couple other teams, is basically about over with. It's really like, hey, we playing for a shot at the picks now. It's a shot at the picks basically for a lot of these teams. Several teams that we getting first round draft picks. I think at some point, Mean Gene, when these teams are playing, they're mostly like, if they see the season almost is midway, halfway over with, and it's going down, you still play it because people want to come out and see a good game because you got people that's paying a lot of money to see these games. But at some point, as far as ownership wise, it's kind of almost like, hey, man, we just gonna have to get, a pick. We fighting for picks now. So right now with this standing, Mean Gene, the lines right now is Baltimore is favored by -7.5 to win. They got to win by 8 points at this point in the game, as far as what they got posted. And Miami is underdog, and the over and under in this game is 46.5. Mean Gene.
Okay. So what
So
do you thinking there?
Well, even though Miami is fighting, I believe they still gonna put up a fight. Like I said, these teams are really, you might think that they won't win, but I still say they're gonna fight. And the way it's looking to me, Mean Gene, I'm gonna put my money on Miami. I'm gonna take the points as far as Miami. And I think that this game is not going to be just a high scoring game. I think Miami still got some defense in them to kind of stop some of the run play and all that against, Baltimore. So I think they're going to cover the 7.5. And then I don't think this game is really going to go over, the 46.5. I think it's going to kind of, get there. It's going to get in the mid, I say round 30. In the 30s between both teams. So I don't think that it's going to go over 46.5. I don't think it's going to get that close to, a 50-point game.
Well, I mean, Baltimore has owned, if that's a correct word to use for to describe this. Baltimore has won the last three, and you got Lamar Jackson, who is almost playing at an MVP level. I guess if the MVP was decided today, he might be the MVP of the league. And then you have the situation over in Miami. I guess it's Jacoby Brissett that's going to start, or is it Tua? I really don't know who's going to start this game. I know Tua had some issues there, but I don't think it probably really matters in this one, right? You going with Miami? You said.
I'm going to take Miami in the points. I think
points.
Miami's going to cover the points. I'm not going to go with Miami to win the game.
Gotcha.
I'm going with Miami to cover the 7.5. And like I say, I think that this game is not, I don't think it's going to go over 46.5 points, Mean Gene. So I'm going to take the under in this game. And actually, okay. I made my decision in bet-wise early in the part of the week. And that's how confident I am that in the under. Now, I'm for sure on the underside of it that I don't think this game is going to go over. So I've already, and I've been watching the lines, and it's kind of, that's what I do. I sit and I watch the lines day per day, and I kind of notate when the lines move and how many days. If it sit for a couple of days, and this number 46.5 points for it to go over has been sitting there, it hadn't moved, Gene, all the way up to game day. It started out on Sunday at 46.5, and it haven't moved. And here we is the day of the game, and it hadn't moved in it. Sometimes you can kind of be persuaded that, hey, it's going up or it's going down. It hadn't went anyway. It's just been stayed at 46.5. So I'm going to say this game is not going to go over 46.5 due to the fact that this line has not moved from Sunday to today.
Okay, I got you. Under on the points here, Miami to cover the spread on this, and under 46.5 points. So that's our Thursday night pick. So I guess I got to make my pick here on this game. I'm going to say Ravens win. As much as I don't want to see the Ravens win, and that's my own personal reasons. But I think the Ravens are gonna get this win tonight, and man, it's just gonna make things more interesting in that AFC North, especially with Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers still haven't yet played the Ravens, and as you know, Mr. Picks, that's always a competitive game when those two teams when they play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
Definitely.
let's go ahead and move it on to Sunday then. Sunday, looking at the first game on the schedule is the Atlanta Falcons 4-4 at the Dallas Cowboys 6-2. Cowboys, oh boy, they get exposed last week in Dallas by the Denver Broncos 30-16. I know a lot of people lost money on that one, Mr. Picks. And then you got the Falcons who I think a lot of people lost money on this one too. The Falcons beat the Saints in New Orleans 27-25. So here these man, this is going to be tough to pick these games because you got two teams that one was expected to win, one was expected to lose, and the opposite happened. And what are the numbers on the Falcons and the Cowboys Sunday at AT&T Stadium?
Right now, Vegas has Dallas Cowboys at a -9.5 favorite to beat Atlanta Falcons with the over and under at 54.5. Mean Gene. So you're looking at a 4-4. Atlanta is 4-4 for the year right now, and Dallas is 6-2. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're still leading in their division wise as far as as far as wins. So right now, Mean Gene, like you say, Atlanta shocked a lot of people. Dallas shocked a lot of people. You know, both of these teams is on a shocker type thing. Like, okay, we got to bounce back. And Atlanta feel like they got their mojo to feel like, hey, man, we can keep going. We can keep if we beat them, and probably, hey, we weren't even expecting to win, but they did. And they pulled off a upset. And now they're going to play a team like Dallas, which is still, hey, I really don't like to say it, but Dallas is looking good this year, man. Right
the
now.
Cowboys are looking pretty solid.
I believe Dallas got to come back off of this, and I believe they will come back off of this. And everybody looked at the points that Atlanta put up and everything. So I believe Dallas will come back and cover that 9.5 points. So I'm gonna go at this point. If nothing changes or move, I believe Dallas will win by 10 points, if not more. And I believe that this game will go over 54.5.
Okay, over the 54.5. All right, Mr. Picks, I got to take the notes here because we got to come back and grade our papers next week.
Exactly.
So, let me remind people what happened last year when these two teams played. Remember the Dallas punter did that crazy kick, that crazy onside kick or whatever. Well, you remember that?
It went 10 yards or something like that.
But it did crazy.
Yeah.
So and it was a close game. It was a 39-40 game, but the Falcons controlled that game throughout. So, I kind of think the Cowboys realized, hey, we showed our asses last week, and Atlanta damn near beat us home here last year. So I'm going to agree with you that they're going to cover that spread too. They're going to win because, but Atlanta, man, every time I pick against Atlanta, they win. It's just the opposite usually happens. When I go for Atlanta, their asses lose. So it's just, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's something with the man, and the MeanGene Show. We can't get on the same page. But I think Dallas was embarrassed. Of course, I would like to see the Cowboys lose on Sunday and watch an ultimate meltdown in the city. But I don't think I don't think it's going to happen. Though I agree with you. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game in Atlanta. But man, Atlanta now is in second. Atlanta? Well, they're not in second place. I think you know what? They beat the Saints last week, so Tampa Bay is still in first place in that division. But Atlanta's creeping.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's creeping.
Exactly.
And so it's not.
Hey, Matty Ice ain't gave up yet.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Now, of course, this is going to set them back a little bit if they lose on Sunday, which we both agree that that's probably going to happen. but it's going to be fun to watch anyway. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys as well. All right, let's go ahead to the next matchup on Sunday. Will be the Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-6 at the Indianapolis Colts, 4-5. Now this is the Colts where everyone, sort of didn't know how what's his name, Carson Wentz was going to play. They win last Thursday night, as a matter of fact, 45-30 over the Jets. Now I'm still shocked that they let the Jets score 30 points on them, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, can you believe they beat the Buffalo Bills 9-6? Just 9-6. And
Exactly.
that was the upset special of the week. Last week was a bunch of upsets, but that was one of them. So you got Jacksonville going to Indianapolis on somewhat of a win streak. AFC South matchup here. I'm going to tell you right now, I got the Colts to win.
Hey, MeanGene, I'm bored with you with that part of it, because I look at right now, the Colts are favored to win by 10.5 points, and the over and under is 47.5. If the game kicked off right now, I would take Jacksonville to cover the points. If it stays like this at 10.5, I'm going to go with Jacksonville to cover that 10.5. I don't think the Colts are going to beat them by 10.5 points.
Okay.
And you're looking at, this is another team that's a 2-6. So you're really just fighting for the picks, draft picks and everything. So you're looking at a 2-6 versus a 4-5 team, which, hey, if they come back in and do it, like I say, I don't think they're going to have another, win this week. I think that they will actually cover the point spread. But as far as the over and under 47.5, I don't think that this game is going to go over 47.5. I don't think it's going to get, that high up as well. This is another team.
So under 47.5, right?
Under 47.5 right now, yeah. And if it was to kick off today, like I said right now, I would take Jacksonville to cover the points.
Okay. All right.
So I go with Jacksonville right now to
cover the points. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got you. All right. The next game. Now, this is really going to be an interesting game in the AFC. The Cleveland Browns, 5-4, at the New England Patriots, 5-4. The Patriots are surprisingly getting it done. Now, thanks to Buffalo losing last week, man, right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the Patriots would be a wild card team. That's and we're almost halfway through the season here. Browns lose last week. No, I'm sorry. Browns win last week over Cincinnati, 41-16. First game without Odell Beckham Jr. And then the Patriots win over Carolina, 24-6. So what's the numbers on this one, Mr. Picks?
Right now we have the New England Patriots favored to win by 2.5 points, with the over and under at 45.5. MeanGene.
Okay. 45.5?
This 45.5.
Okay.
And I would put the money on right now if I had to pick at this moment. I would take Cleveland in the 2.5 points, the plus 2.5 points, MeanGene, to cover. And this game, I believe, will go over 45.5.
Okay. I'm gonna say the Browns. Go ahead.
You're looking at two teams. You're looking at two teams that's 5-4 right now. So, and both of them still in good standing. I mean, hey, in the division right now, like you said, that hey, one would be a wild card. Cleveland, I'm not just gonna count Cleveland them out just yet. They had a little setback, but hey, I think they're kind of like Pittsburgh. It's kind of like any given Sunday type thing. Play a team that they should win. Hey, that everybody think they should win against, and then lose against teams that that you should have won.
Yeah, that is definitely the Pittsburgh Steelers for sure. In Cleveland, man, yeah, I tell you what, and this, because these two teams are playing each other Sunday, this is going to further define what's happening in the AFC playoff picture. Of course, I like to see the Patriots knock off the Browns and just sort of
Exactly.
kind of get them out of the way in the AFC North. But I'm going to say Cleveland win this game. I just their defense with Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb, that running back, man, he's been kind of running. He had a big run last week. I think he had 163 scrimmage yards, 137 rushing. So and I think he busted one for like 80 something yards, 70 something yards. So, but yeah, I got the Browns. All right, the next game, Buffalo Bills 5-3 at the New York Jets 2-6. What do you have on this one?
Right now, MeanGene, Buffalo is favored to win by 12 points with the over and under at 47.5. MeanGene, Buffalo has been sitting on. Didn't they have a bye week?
Oh, last week they you remember they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly. Okay. I was thinking of a team. My bad. But I think with the Jets and them coming in, another team. Like I said, I keep looking at these teams. Really don't have a lot you're playing for. I think a lot of them just seem like they knocking off good teams or getting in the way of teams that got a potential chance of going and maybe like in second, leading in the division and end up getting knocked behind because these teams that really don't have a chance is getting lucky in beating them and knocking them further down, versus, hey, man, we should have won that game, but you didn't. So you're looking at another team, a 5-3 team within Buffalo versus a 2-6 team with the New York Jets. So at this point, MeanGene, I would take Buffalo to come in and win, beat the Jets by the 12 points. And then I would take the over. I look at the over and under. I'm kind of looking like I don't think that this game will go over with them getting that many points. I don't think that this game is going to go over 47.5.
Okay, so all right, you like Buffalo
plus the 12.
Okay.
I mean minus the 12.
Yeah, minus the 12. Okay, but you don't like the over.
No, I don't like the over.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough. And I got Buffalo winning too. I like them to cover that. I like them to cover that spread too. But now I will say this is an AFC East conference game. Now these two teams are no stranger to each other, so those conference games tend to be a little closer than what people thinks. And that under, I like that under. All right, it's gonna bring us to the next game, which is a scary game. The 0-8 Detroit Lions will travel to Pittsburgh to face the 5-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, NFL fans around the nation saw the Steelers take on the Bears on Monday night. Steelers got a short week. They beat the Bears 29-27, barely. But this is a scary game. Now you have the winless Detroit Lions. The last game they played, the Philadelphia Eagles beat them 44-6. They coming off a bye. So, Mr. Picks, I can't wait to hear what the numbers are for this game here.
Hey, MeanGene, right now Pittsburgh is favored to win by 8 points over the winless Detroit Lions. So, and the over and under is 42.5 points. MeanGene, like you say, it's one of those things that a team coming in, you haven't won a game. That's the whole point. They haven't won a game yet. So they looking to say, hey, look, we're going to get our first win off of somebody.
Coming in off a bye, too, now.
Coming off a bye. They well rested. Pittsburgh coming in on a banged up. They played, Monday night football. So they looking like, hey, man, we got a short week ahead of us. It ain't like we playing at, the last game on Sunday. We playing at noon. So it's one of the things between being banged up and trying to, mend some of the wounds from the prior game this week. So, but I still think Pittsburgh will get it done, man. Everybody's been ragging that Ben's arm is not, like it used to be. And I admit it's not, but he still got a surrounding cast that can get the job done, that can put up some points. And I just don't think that they're gonna let Detroit come and make them the answer to they winless prayer that they're gonna get one in. I don't think it's gonna be in Pittsburgh.
So
I
what's
don't think it's gonna be against me.
you got Pittsburgh by
So,
8?
so I'm gonna take the 8 points with Pittsburgh Steelers to cover the 8 in 8 points for that game, Mean Gene. And then, like I say, the over and under is 42.5 points,
Mm-hmm.
Mean Gene. I think it's gonna go over. I think Pittsburgh is gonna come in because everybody think they banged up, and hey, it was a close, ugly game that Pittsburgh took off with a 14-0 run. You know, and you know, they let the rookie come back and they did his thing, and we barely, you know, got in there. And a lot of people got, you know, they say on, you know, hey man, the referees helped you and helped the team and all that, you know, to the win. But hey, a win is a win. You know, I done seen worse. So my thing is, I think Pittsburgh them gonna come in and handle their business and put up some points. And I don't think the referees gonna have anything to do with it. You know, I think they just gonna say, hey, we're gonna do one of them, you know, hush mouth type of games. We're gonna hush y'all up and show you this is how Pittsburgh come in. Not just because that's my team, but Pittsburgh is one of those teams. If they bounce back, if they would have lost, you gotta bounce back even harder. So they kind of like you gonna take it as a loss type thing, like, hey man, we barely, man, the kicker, you know, made history. He got a fumble, what's the name? Off the opposite team. And then also he got the winning kick.
Yeah,
50 yard,
Boswell.
and then he got the 50-yard. Yeah, Boswell got the 50-yard kick. So he made history. Nobody's done that in NFL history to do what he did. So, you know, so I think it's just one of those games, man. You know, and I can talk all day about my team, but at the end of the day, we gotta keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward. But I'm just giving some insight that, hey, I think Pittsburgh is going to cover that 8 points, and this game is going to go over.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, Steeler Nation know that I have rode with the Pittsburgh Steelers for over 50 years, man. And and just knowing this team here, I'm going to shock a lot of people. I definitely want the Steelers to win this game. Nobody wants to be the first to lose to a winless team now. And the Lions are the only winless team. Not the Ravens, the Jaguars were able to shake that off when they went over to London and got a win. But man, I thought that the Lions were better than the Jaguars. Obviously not, because the Jaguars have won 2 games now, including beating Buffalo. But Mr. Picks, I don't like this game. I hate it. I hate it because I know how the Steelers can just lay down and just be, I don't know. I'm picking Detroit to win. It breaks my heart. I'm picking Detroit to win this. I don't like it. I don't like it. And man, I don't even know if I want to watch this game because I don't want to be right at all. But I have to go on the record, and I will say the same on my Saturday show in Las Vegas. It hurts me. You know, I got my fingers crossed too. But I'm picking the Lions to win. I hope I don't have to come back. I hope I can be wrong next week. I hope this could be the only game I lose next week.
Hey, Mean Gene, I hate to say it. You pick like what the Water Boy say. No, Mean Gene.
Oh, I know people ain't gonna like it. Hey, got a lot of listeners that support the MeanGene Show up in Pennsylvania. Boy, I tell you, I know they are just cringing and just like I expect to get a lot of hate mail. And then if they do beat them, I'm expecting people to blame me for it.
Let's say you jinxed them.
Yeah, exactly. I hope that doesn't happen, man. And that's why I'm glad this ain't Halloween that we're playing them on. You know, glad we got that out the way. But anyway, so we'll see what happens on Sunday.
What you say? Say hey G, you know what they say? Lions and tigers and bears.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So let's get off this one and get into Another game which is huge here, man. You remember the Titans, right? You remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, man, and let's just take a pause right quick because, folks, if you just go back and listen to the first show of the football season here when Mr. Picks was on there, and we kind of did our predictions as far as who we thought would be the most surprising teams. Obviously, we always pick our Steelers to win, but there were some teams that me and Mr. Picks put out there. And man, and I am proud to say through 10 weeks of football, we are correct. Mr. Picks rode with the Arizona Cardinals. You can go back and listen to the show. It was back in August, I believe, or early September, where we said, Mr. Picks said the Arizona Cardinals would be the most surprising team in the NFL. And I agreed with him. And I also said that the Tennessee Titans would be a surprising team. That was my surprising team.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if the playoffs ended today, the Titans would be the number one seed in the AFC. And guess who would be the number one seed in the NFC? The Arizona Cardinals.
Exactly.
We could not have been more right. And I don't care what ESPN, Fox, and all of these highly paid so-called experts, nobody listened to this damn show, because if they did, they would have our asses on TV now. Asking us, why and how did y'all feel this way? Because we were dead on. Now, I don't know how the rest of the year is going to turn out, but right now, and for 8 weeks, we've been on point. Now, the Titans has been smoking. They got 4 wins have come against teams that made the playoffs last year. Buffalo, Kansas City, Indianapolis, and the Rams. They beat the Rams in LA.
Hey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this week, oh boy, this is a doozy. They play the New Orleans Saints, and they're in Nashville. The 7-2 Titans hosting the 5-3 Saints. This is actually going to be a good game on Sunday. So what are the numbers, Mr. Picks?
Hey, right now, MeanGene, Arizona is favored to win.
Not Arizona. The Titans. Yeah, the Titans.
My bad. Uh-huh. Hey, I got to looking at somebody else was asking me.
Oh yeah, remember the Titans. Remember the Titans.
Hey, right now the Titans are favored to win. My bad, listeners. Hey, Titans are favored to win by 3 points, and the over and under is 44.5. MeanGene, you know me right now. Hey, I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Oh, I already know it. I knew you was going with the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Saints to cover that. The Saints, look at, hey man, the loss that they took, that was one that they man, that was that was a kick below the belt.
They lost to Atlanta. Yeah.
That was a kick below the belt. So hey man, they're gonna come back, man, with a vengeance on this one. Mm-hmm. Because they got to take their lick back on somebody, and I believe the Titans are going to be the one they take their lick out on, and I'm going to put my money on the Saints to win this, and I believe that this game we're probably going to go under 44.5, though, MeanGene. But I believe the Saints, under 44.5, but I believe the Saints will win this game.
You think that line is going to change between now and Sunday?
And it probably will. And it probably will, MeanGene. But I still say this game is going to go under. It's going to go under. If the lines even move, I don't think that it's going to be a blowout game on either side. I just think that I believe that this game, that the Saints will cover that 3 points. I believe they're going to come out with a win on this one. You know, Saints. Tennessee is 7-2. You know, and Saints are 5-3, and Tennessee is 7-2. So I think that they're gonna come back, man, and get them one, put another one under the belts.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna go with the Titans. I'm just gonna say the Titans gonna win. I know this is a non-conference game. This, you got the AFC versus an NFC. I do like the Saints defense because man, they show up sometimes and they show up well. And remember that both teams are coming in, without their megastars. You don't have Jameis Winston and you don't have Big Henry. So this is not that matchup that it could have been. Although both of them have made their mark on these teams' records. Jameis getting New Orleans off to a good start, and Big Henry getting Tennessee off to a good start. So, and then, Adrian Peterson had a touchdown last week. Guy been sitting on the couch like me and you for the last 8 weeks. Comes in and just gets an easy touchdown. That's the Adrian Peterson, I guess. So the game is at home, and this is probably the only reason why I'm picking the Titans, because it's in Nashville. But man, it's going to be a good game to watch, and it's going to be tough to watch along with keeping my eye out on those damn lines and make sure they don't bite my Steelers.
I think
watch
you
both
keep
of these.
your eye out on this game. Yeah. I think the more one to watch is going to be this New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, this is going to be a hell of a game.
Because Pittsburgh handled their business. Pittsburgh.
Okay, I can just always.
It was scary. Like I say, it was scary, and they got to bounce back off of this close game type thing. So I think Pittsburgh handled their business. Everybody gonna be looking like, hey man, they barely won. So I think they'll bounce back. So we're gonna watch this Titans.
Yeah,
we're gonna watch this Titans.
Because this is really going to be. I tell you what, if the Titans do win. Now we know Jameis Winston is not coming back. So however, how far people had the Saints going, they're going to have to do it with Trevor Siemian, which, I mean, he's not a bad quarterback, but Jameis Winston really did good this year. But man, that defense and Alvin Kamara, anything's possible. The Saints can get that win. So we'll check out that one on Sunday. All right. The next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they coming off a bye. The last game they played, they lost to the Saints, the team we just talked about. They're playing a team that's also coming off a bye, the Washington football team. So you got 6-2 versus 2-6. I got to go with the Buccaneers in this one. I don't know. It just looks too damn obvious. But what do you got on this?
Right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored to win by 9.5 points with the over and under at 51.5. Gene, I'm going. Like you say, you didn't let the goat sit up and graze. The goat and grazed. He been sitting back, just coming. Hey, now it's time to go back to work. So man, Tampa gonna come in here, man. They're gonna put up some numbers on this Washington football team.
Yeah.
They're gonna cover that. They're gonna cover that 9.5 points. Plus, I can see this game, end up being, hey man, three touchdown thing that they just gonna walk all over Washington, man. So I'm looking at right now that I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay to cover that 9.5 points. And then the over and under, like I said, is 51.5, Mean Gene, which if it stays like this, I think at this point, Mean Gene, I'm going to take the under in the game. I would take the under 51.5.
Okay.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win by a good number of points, but I don't think they're going to put up. Everybody looking at that's Tom Brady, he coming off, the bye week. And, hey, I just don't think they're going to put up what everybody think the numbers. But I do think it's going to be, at least by 3 touchdowns.
Okay, so they're going to cover that 9.5, right?
Yeah, they're going to cover that 9.5.
Okay, I got the Bucks too, and I agree with you. I think they're going to, you getting Tom Brady off a bye week, man. Come on. I mean, I don't care who he plays with. Everybody knows what this guy, how he prepares for a big game. So, all right, the next one, the 4-5 Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals, 8-1. Now, I'm going to say this about the Panthers, and this is somewhat breaking news. The Carolina Panthers are interested in Cam Newton, bringing him back. That's the team that he played for good Lord, almost 10 years? And and now they are talking about, because no one else has picked Cam Newton up, and I am shocked that we're 10 weeks into the season and Cam Newton is not on the team. But Sam Darnold has played so bad for the Carolina Panthers that it's more about business right now than anything. They are interested in bringing Cam Newton back. And I guess that's a place that he's familiar with and a place that he will be comfortable with. So that's the latest on that. So stay tuned to see what's going to happen with that. But the Arizona Cardinals last week, man, me and Mr. Picks, we talked about this last week. I told Mr. Picks, I said, nah, the Cardinals are not going to beat the 49ers. They are not going to do it because, number one, they don't have Kyler Murray. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Mr. Picks was like, no, listen to me. I do this for a living. I know they're going to win. And boy, was he right. Yeah, I think it was a 5.5 point spread or something like that.
Exactly.
This is without Kyler Murray and without, they did it with, good Lord, who was the quarterback last week? I think it was Colt McCoy or somebody like that, right? Mm-hmm. Who backed up. Anyway, they win 31-17 at San Francisco. So I can tell you right now, there's no way in hell I'm going against the Cardinals at home against the Panthers. And I got them winning, and they're going to improve to 9-1, Mr. Pigs. What you got? Now, what's the numbers on this anyway?
The numbers on this, you're looking at the Cardinals are favored to win by 10 points with the over and under at 44. So you're looking at an 8-1 Cardinals team versus a 4-5 Panthers team. MeanGene, like I told you, I called it like we was talking about in the beginning of the year, my two teams, and I still haven't gave up on them, and I keep going back to them. But like you told them, we picked Arizona. I picked Arizona Cardinals, and I said it was going to be a rematch of Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I haven't counted them out yet. And if they go back and listen to the show, this ain't just because how our team is doing. This was started before the kick of the NFL even kicked off. This was my prediction. I say, hey, this is the teams that I feel like are going. One team is kind of looking lopsided, but Pittsburgh, you can't count them out. But right now, as far as we talking about the Arizona Cardinals, I keep telling you, I say this team, period. It ain't just Kyler Murray, but I felt like he was finding himself and saying, hey, I'm in the league now. Let me go on ahead. This is where I'm going to be. And he done found his rhythm. The team done found their rhythm. They done built a surrounding cast around them. And like I told you, it's not just Kyler Murray, it's the other quarterbacks that's looking like, hey, man, we got something going, and everybody want to be a part of it, whether it's the backup quarterback, the third-string quarterback. These guys are all coming together, man, and they feeling each other. They done banded together as brothers. I look at and I keep giving a whole lot of praises and props to James Conner, which Pittsburgh had him. That's another reason I keep resorting back to Pittsburgh, because they got James Conner, and this kid, man, he is putting up 2 to 3 touchdowns each game. I think he's probably more happy that, hey, I love Pittsburgh. He probably got Pittsburgh still. He's a Pittsburgh kid, So I think he just got over there and just say, hey, man, sometimes you got to leave off from around your home to go and find, what you're looking for. And I think he done found his rhythm, and he more happy, man. So he's showing out to say, hey, this is what
showing out is an understatement, man. You talking about, I cannot remember when James Conner had 173 scrimmage yards. He had 96 rushing and 77 receiving. I can't remember. And then he had 3 touchdowns. I know that ain't happening because that was a career high.
Exactly. This kid can put up more numbers than in this one season than he has in his whole career, Jay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, and he been in the league 5 years now. This is 5th year, or
5 years. So
you figure,
go ahead.
It's
crazy, and he did that against the Rams defense. I mean. Exactly. I'm sorry, a 49ers defense. I'm sorry, not a Rams defense, but a 49ers defense. And man, hey, all props to this guy, man, for getting it done. And this is what makes the Arizona Cardinals so good, because you don't know who's going to beat you. You don't know if it's going to be Hopkins, Christian Kirk. You don't know if it's going to be what's that other dude, the running back they got? I can't think of his name. But anyway, they got a lot of folks, and then that defense, Buda Baker, Isaiah Simmons, Chandler Jones,
J.J. Watts.
Now J.J.'s out for the year.
He's out now. He's out,
but he made his mark on this season, though. Yeah.
So
and then
just
I got the Cardinals winning.
not only doing his part, but being a good hype man to the other
Yeah.
guys on the side
Always.
to say, hey, so give props to all them guys, man.
Yeah.
They're doing the thing.
They
So,
doing it up.
but on the my thing on this game, Mean Gene, that I look at, like I say, they're favored to win by 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, I don't think they're gonna cover the 10 points. I know they're gonna win. I'm going with them for the win, but I think the Panthers will cover the 10-point spread, and I don't think this game is gonna go over 44 points.
Okay, so okay. So you got
I got the Panthers to cover the points, not to win. So I don't want nobody to say, well, he took. I'm telling you, if you're gonna take it to cover the point spread. But so don't take it that you say, well, Kyler Murray gonna lose. No, I'm not saying they're gonna lose. Now that I'm not saying at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, we got you. All right, next game: Minnesota Vikings 3-5 at the Los Angeles Chargers 5-3. So Chargers beat the Philadelphia Eagles last week in Philly. That was a nice road win. And it was the Baltimore Ravens needing overtime to beat the Vikings. The Vikings really had them beat, and they just sort of caved in there in the end. So I'm going with the Chargers in this game.
Chargers, okay. Right now, Vegas got Chargers to win by 3 points. And the over and under is 53. Mean Gene, yeah, I'm gonna go. 53? I'm gonna take the even 53.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna take the 3 points on the Minnesota Vikings because, like I say, it was a close game, and I think at some point Minnesota they just can't close the deal. When we were talking about that last night about closing the deal, they just can't close the deal. But I think they got enough in them, Mean Gene, to cover, and they might win this game. They might just beat them right out. They might beat the Chargers right out, and take this game and win. But I'm gonna take Minnesota plus the 3. And then also, as far as the over and under in this game, I don't think this game is going to go over 53 points. I believe it's going to go way up under, but I believe that there will. I believe Minnesota the Vikings will just take this game. I believe they will win this game right out.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, man. I tell you what, that would be interesting if that happened. So that's going to be another good game to kind of keep an eye on. Okay, the next game here, and I got the Chargers to win. The next game we got is the Philadelphia Eagles 3-6 at the Denver Broncos 5-4. And man, everybody talking about them Broncos who went to Dallas with a game plan. And Mike Tyson said it best. He says, every boxer has a plan until he get punched in the mouth. And I think the Cowboys probably had a plan too to beat the Broncos until they got punched in the mouth. Right? So I tell you what, man, what do you have on this game, Mr. Picks?
The line right now, Denver is favored to win by 2.5 points with the over and under at 45. Mean Gene, I'm gonna take the Broncos, man, to keep this thing going. That it's gonna be a close one, but I believe they can still get away with winning this game, taking the win over the Eagles. Right now, I'm just not feeling the Eagles, as far as them, producing, they kind of let me down. They just one of them teams that almost kind of like Atlanta. You place a bet on them and they just let you down. You be like, man, come on.
You telling.
And then I don't think this game is gonna go over 45 points. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I believe they're gonna go up there. They playing in Denver, and that the altitude up there, and guys, so I think that it's gonna be another Philly letdown. You know, it's gonna be a
Mm.
Philly steak. They're gonna have Philly steak in Denver.
Ooh, they're gonna be eating some good old steak up in Colorado this
They gonna
weekend.
Denver's gonna eat some Philly steak. Like I say, I
Oh
think they're gonna
man.
keep it close. They might keep it close, but I don't think they're gonna go over 45. I think it's gonna be under
So
45
you think
points in
so?
this game.
Denver would cover that 3. Then is what you're saying?
The 2.5 points, yeah, I believe they'll cover that two
Two
and
and
a
a
half
half. Yeah.
points. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So moving right along here now. This next game was scheduled to be a good headliner. The Seattle Seahawks, 3-5. I repeat, they're 3-5. They're having like one of those Kansas City Chiefs seasons, and they are at Green Bay. Green Bay is 7-2. So I have to see. I think now Russell Wilson was supposed to actually be getting better. I don't know if I think he might play this week.
I think he's gonna play.
Yeah, he's cleared to return, and I believe Aaron Rodgers has passed the protocol, right? The COVID protocol to play. So if that's the case, then we might see Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, and it would make the game interesting. And the Seattle Seahawks need a win in the most urgent way. If Russell Wilson is playing, I'm going with the Seahawks to win this game.
I totally agree with you. I was going to pick that, but I was waiting to hear your thoughts on the situation. Russell's coming back, and Russell want to say, "Hey, man, I'm back now. Let's get something going." And hey, who's to say? You never know. The word was out on the streets that hey, Seattle might end up getting Odell Beckham. You know.
Ooh.
So if that happened between now and before, hey, Sunday, and they get him in there, and if Russell come back, man, I think, hey, man, this might be a tail of a tape type thing to say, hey,
what are the numbers on this game?
The numbers on this is that Green Bay is favored to win by 3 points, and the over and under is 49.5. So I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to go with Seattle. Green Bay is a 7-2 team right now. Seahawks is 3-5, and I'm gonna go take the 3 points on the underdog. I'm gonna go with Seattle Seahawks to take this game, win this game, and
this is a late out. Go ahead.
The over and under, like I say, 49.5. If it move a little bit right now, it's kind of iffy, but I think if it sit like this right now, MeanGene, I think this game might go over. If, like you say, it's only if you got not Tom Brady, if you got Aaron Rodgers and you got Russell Wilson, you got these two quarterbacks, this is going to be a high scoring game. It's going to go over.
Yeah.
This game will go over. But if you got only one on one side and the other, then I don't. But I think this game, man, if it stays like if you got both of those matchup, I believe this game is going to go in some high numbers. We might get 60 some points out this game.
Yeah, no, that's why, man, we got to. So 70. Far, it looked like a goal for both quarterbacks, and that's going to be great. Like I said, this is going to be one of your big time games for Sunday evening, and followed by another big time game Sunday night. The next game we have is the Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, man, the Raiders, it's almost like someone has a pin sticking it in their back, from like a voodoo doll or something other, because they are just getting beat up, man. They lose John Gruden. They lose Henry Ruggs III for that tragedy that happened there. And then they lose another cornerback and for something crazy for making death threats or something online. What more and can happen to the Las Vegas Raiders, but yet they are still atop of the AFC West despite all of this. But Mr. Picks, I don't see it happening. I see the Kansas City Chiefs quietly coming in there and just taking that game away. The cornerback is Damon Arnett, the guy and they just released him from the Las Vegas Raiders a couple of days ago, and he's actually been a pretty decent corner for them. But man, this is the third person on that team that is no longer there, including John Gruden.
It was before Mean Gene, way before they actually made, when it was just in the air that this was what they was going to transition from Oakland to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying, and I sit back and look at the big picture of this. I seen disaster written all over that game plan. And that's why I've been telling y'all, I say, hey, man, this is a disaster move. I say there's nothing going on in that desert but gambling, drinking, and partying. I say, so why are you going to take these kids, man? These kids 21, 20, 21
you have been saying
old.
that.
What are they supposed to do? You know, you got plenty of money, so there's nothing but gambling, partying, and drinking going on. You know what I'm saying? And clubbing. That's it. That's all you can do in the middle of nowhere. So that was a bad choice to take a group of kids with a bunch of money to say, hey, man, we never did it like this before. All we see is bright lights and partying.
Every night.
When all this is every night.
Yeah.
So I say, man, I told him, I say, this is a thing on this move. It was a disaster. It was a disaster move. And this is the outcome. Like I tell people, man, just sit back and just watch. And it's happening, Mean Gene. And I hate that it's happening because, man, you know, people are losing their lives behind this.
Yeah.
You know, these kids are feeling like, hey, I got all this money. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I'm partying. I got it. Nobody is monitoring children. You know what I'm saying? These are kids, grown young men that's basically just partying, having fun like rock stars. They feel like they can get away with whatever. And now you got the situation where somebody, you know, then lost their life. A young man, his life is destroyed behind this. You know, the situation with the coach, you know, stuff is starting to come out. It's like too much time on your hand, man. People investigating the different stuff that you did many years ago, and it's coming back. And, you know, and I just look at Gene that right now, he was looking good, but now disaster stuff is hidden, and, you know, and it's going to continue on until they figure out that, hey, man, we're going to have to start getting chaperones for these kids. Hey, if you figure you done had a drink, you need to be having Uber. I mean, if you got money, I call it Uber. You know what I'm saying? Right. Why are you behind a race car, basically, and you've been drinking all this and just feel like you got it? Because I, you know, personally have the same vehicle, you know, a Corvette. And I know when I get behind it, I mean, I'm not drinking or anything, but it's just the fact that you got this speed up under you. Yeah. And you just like, hey, you trying to, you know, drive it. And sometimes I have to catch myself like, hey, man, this, you know, cool. You know, you need to slow this thing down because there's nothing but fiberglass. And, you know, man, it's just, it's crazy.
And it'll be destroyed, you know, like nothing.
Exactly. But so Mean Gene, you know, hey, you know, to get back on the game, that was my vent for, you know, I just said, hey, man, I hate this because now it's like it's out of control. You steady losing players, coaches, and all of this stuff, and you hate to see that, man, you know, happening.
And that impacts the team at some point. I mean, you know, you take one punch, and then you get another punch, and then you get another punch, and you know, Henry Ruggs is now facing 50 years in prison. They have charged him with 4 different felonies, which is outrageous. In the state of Nevada, there's no probationary period for any of those charges so he's looking at some kind of prison time, which is just tragic for a guy that's 22 years old. And, you know, and Damon Arnett, well, this guy he's been having all sorts of problems. And this is all going to fall back on the GM, Mike Mayock, who, you know, selected these guys. Now, no one could predict these things would happen, but at the same time, 2 of your top draft picks are no longer with the team. And somebody's got to pay for that at some point in time.
And then you look at the fact of what some of these guys made and went through in their lives and the opportunity that you have to do better for yourself and you're taking care of your family. Now, all of that's destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, that's wiped off the table. Like, now what do we do? Because this was the golden hen. Like, you know, we were depending on you to make some type of move. Now you're looking at lawsuits, prison time, all of this stuff is just gonna go. So now people trying to make decisions like, hey, I don't know what kind of money he had put to the side or whatever, but hey, somebody got to make some choices to kind of say now, hey, the lifestyle that we probably had that was great, it's all finna be changed. And then, like you say, now you thinking of road trips when you was doing road trips to go to different games. Now we got to do road trips to go to visit this young man, behind bars.
In a Nevada prison.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
hey, I got some breaking news. The Carolina Panthers have signed Cam Newton.
Oh.
Yeah,
hey,
they have
deal.
brought him.
Good deal.
He is the all-time passing leader, and he rejoins the Carolina Panthers. So Cam Newton is back into the league, and who knows, we might get to see him face Tom Brady before it's all over with, because they all in the same division. And guess what? They gave him a deal that is worth $10 million. So that means he will get, and this is for the rest of the year. It includes a $4.5 million fully guaranteed and a $1.5 million roster bonus. That's way more than what the Patriots was paying him. And you got to think they are just showing their allegiance and appreciation to what he had did to the for the team.
Hey, that just goes back to what we were just saying. Where I told you my picks when I said I don't think that the Cardinals will cover that 10 points. You see what I'm saying?
Now I don't know if he's going to play this week. Now look here, I don't know if he's going to play Sunday. But
I think he's going to play. I think they're going to play him. I think they're going to put him in there and watch what you say. Mr. Pitt, before the breaking news came out,
I just got it. From my sources over at the score.
I believe they're going to play him. They need to play him because, for the simple fact, ain't no sense of going to get a man and put, the hype is going to be, sales is going up. Everybody wants the Cam shirt. He's back.
So I guess he comes back with number 1, the Superman shirt.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wow. And Sam Darnold will be out for 4 to 6 weeks due to that shoulder injury. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to ever see the light of day.
So you don't think Cam is going to play? You don't think Cam is going to play, man?
Hey, look here. In the situation
who else you going to put it? Who else?
In the situation that they're in, he probably will play.
That's what I say.
Look, the
10 points has went all the way down. Watch this line move.
Man. Yeah, that line Cam got to change.
I'm telling you now, if you're listening to the show or you hear the show before this, you better go and get them 10 points. Go get that plus 10 points right now. Go get it. This show is going to go down.
This show will be on iHeartRadio. This show will be on Pandora, Spotify, and all of those sites there before Sunday. So you have more than enough time to listen to this and and make the right decision. I tell you, man.
I'm hitting the button. I'm hitting the button right now. Place them up there.
Hey,
breaking news.
Look here, we haven't had a show like this where maybe we need to do more shows this time of the day because man, lots of things happen here on this day. But hey, let's get back to the Raiders and the Chiefs because I'm picking the Chiefs, but I don't know what the numbers are for this game.
Hey, right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are minus 2.5 points.
Okay.
And they are 5-4 at this point, and the over and unders at 51.5. And you're looking at the Raiders are 5-3. So I'm gonna go with you on Kansas City. I'm gonna take that 2.5. Kansas City is gonna go to the out there to Las Vegas, and they're gonna go ahead and take them a win back to Kansas City with them. And as far as the over and under being at the 51.5, MeanGene, I believe this number may move a little bit before then. But so I'm taking the under in this game. I don't think it's going to go.
Let me tell you the impact of this game. If the Chargers lose and if the Raiders lose, guess who's in first place? The Chiefs. The team that started out at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then if the Broncos lose too, now the Broncos They would probably be tied, but the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back and see what the Broncos'
Well, right
record
now,
is. Yeah, the Broncos 5-4, so
they
they
are
would be
tied.
tied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if the
Yeah.
Broncos and the Chargers and the Raiders lose, then Kansas City is in first place. That would be a remarkable turnaround for a team. So, man, that's your Sunday night game. Now it brings us to the last game of the week, and that's going to be the 7-2 Los Angeles Rams at the 3-5 San Francisco 49ers. 49ers get beat at home by the Arizona Cardinals last week. The Rams lose to Tennessee. So both teams coming in with an L. And and this is your Monday night game. What are the numbers?
Right now, the Rams are favored by 4 points, and the over and under is 49 in this Mean Gene. And if I had to say right now, I'm gonna go. I don't think the 49ers is gonna take another loss like that. They trying to bounce back off of theirs. You talking about a 7-2 Rams team versus a 3-5, which I don't see the 49ers doing a whole lot, but I think 49ers still right now, they got some light in them. They got some life in them. And I believe that the 49ers will cover that 4 points.
You think they're going to win the game?
I believe they win the game. I believe Rams going to take a second one. I think they're going to take another. Yeah, I think they'll take another one on the chin.
You know what? I was almost going to agree with you, but I had to sit and think that Von Miller makes his debut with this team. He didn't play last week in that Tennessee loss. He was on the sideline. So if Von Miller plays his first game with the Rams, and you got Aaron Donald on the other side, I don't know. I just think, I think the 49ers could cover the spread maybe, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that Rams defense is going to get to Garoppolo and win that game.
And that's why I say I believe that they may, they'll cover the 4 points. And then as far as the over and under, I feel like they'll go under 49 points. They'll go under the 49.
Yeah, and that could be.
It's too much defense. It's a lot of defense on this. So, I believe they're going to go under 49. And I believe 49ers will cover, the 4 points.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. Picks, man, we have covered all the games that are going to be taking place on Sunday. Now, I will repeat, if you are a fan of the Bears, the Bengals, the Giants, and the Texans, and you're wondering why we didn't say anything about your teams, because they have a bye. Now, I would also remind you that if you have any players on your fantasy football roster that plays for the Bears and the Bengals, the Giants, and the Texans, you need to get their asses out the lineup, because they're not going to be on the field, and you would be the fool that sat there and wonder why they ain't getting no points. That's because they ain't playing. I done told you. Now, if you're in my league, I'm not going to remind you. I'm just going to beat the brakes off of you. I'm going to say you knew better than to have Joe Burrow as your quarterback starting on Sunday, or Justin Fields, because you wasn't paying attention to the show. So anyway, those are the teams that's got to buy, and the Texans need a buy because they have just been getting the brakes beat off of them, and the Bears. Man, we caught a lot of slack Monday night saying how the referees helped the Steelers beat the Bears. Well, tell me about a time when the referee didn't help your damn team win a game, okay? You probably didn't complain about it then, right? So, anyway, Mr. Picks, hey, man. Wait a minute. Let me just say, because we probably won't have a show before your big birthday that's coming up.
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Picks' birthday, November 16th. Mr. Picks is going to do it up. I know you're heading down to the great state of Arkansas for some entertainment, I hear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, I got to go down, man, and check on the family. And, hey, it's a lot of Mr. Pick fans down there want me to visit the local sports casinos down there.
One in Hot Springs. Yeah.
In Hot Springs.
You're going to be down there making them bets down there this weekend, right?
Man. Hey, I'm going to be in the house. So Mr. Picks is going to be in Hot Springs, and hey, right there at the sports book. And, hey, and I got a lot of people that follow me. They're going to be, hey, Mr. Pick, what you got? What you got? So, hey, man, I'm going to go down there. Hey, I turned the big 5-1, Mr. Mean Gene. And,
Oh,
man, I'm just
wow.
going to
Wow.
kind
I thought I told the
of
production
chillax.
staff not to let babies on this show. We don't have anyone
I'm
under
over the
Mean
hump,
Gene's age. Yeah, you over the hump there. Over 50,
I'm over the
man.
hump, though, man. So,
Hey,
it's a
next
blessing,
Tuesday.
man.
Hey, folks, next Tuesday, Mr. Pick's birthday. That's going to be incredible stuff there, man. I tell you what, you be safe down there in Arkansas, and for us the listeners, make sure you get in line at the nearest betting cage. Or hey, Mr. Picks, what are some of the good sites to bet online? Some folks are not close to a casino, and some states just haven't legalized gambling yet. So, what options do people have to get in on some of this action?
Hey, man, the better one that I like, man, right now is Bet Online. I push
Okay.
that Bet Online, and and you got several of them, man. You got Betters, you got Bet Online. But my preference right now, if you're not able to go to your local, casinos, or if you can't make it there to place your bet, go on Bet Online and place your bets, man. Got good payouts and everything. Lines are great and all that. And if you're not familiar with Bitcoin, is the best way to get, your cash out is try, do the Bitcoin. You get your money right back to you instantly, So, if anybody knows about the Bitcoin, or you use your Bitcoin
There's probably
and
some
go through your,
YouTube videos out there to show you how to
go
do
through
that too.
go through your cash. You can go through Cash App and use the Bitcoin and all that different stuff, man. And all that
And get
to make your
paid through the same
deposits
way, right?
and get paid through the same way.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it's different outlets, on there. At this point, Mr. Pix is not getting paid from any of these guys, so I don't like to give a lot of shouts out,
Right.
and
Yeah.
try to make some type of arrangements with these guys, that hey, man, I got a lot of followers, and we can all do something. They might say, hey, bring them in, Mr. Pix, and I'm bringing them out a busload.
Gotcha. Well, hey, folks. Hey, hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoy the Thursday night game tonight against the. Look here, I tell you, I got to go back and check my notes. I forget just that quick. It's the Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. That's your Thursday night game. We'll see you back here next week. Enjoy your weekend, Mr. Picks. You be safe, and folks, we'll see you next week here on the Mean Gene Show, streaming right here live on Podbean.com.